This video is sponsored by Squarespace, an all-in-one platform to build your website and run your business. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 4 zero waste items that I don't regret buying. So in my last video, I talked about the things that I did regret buying, and I'll link that video in the cards in case you missed it. But let's just hop right in. So the first thing I actually don't have to share with you because it's over on my stovetop, and it's my cast iron pan. So I've had this pan for about 5 years and I love it. And before I bought it, I was really into, well, I didn't want to do non-stick because I did some research and just wasn't comfortable with the ingredients in it and how it can like leach into your food and stuff. So instead of that, I was doing the like healthy ceramic coated pans. And in my experience, I could use them for several months, but then the ceramic coating would start like chipping off into my food, and that would freak me out. So I would get rid of it and then buy another one. I was really into getting them at TJ Maxx, which may or may not be a good thing. I mean, I don't know if that had to do with the quality or whatever, but I know you can get fully ceramic pans that I'm sure are better quality than the ones that I was getting in the past, because mine would continually chip. So the reason I love my cast iron is that it will literally last my whole lifetime. It's incredible when I take care of it. It has a non-stick surface, but it's also non-toxic. So yeah, that's an item that is zero waste that I feel like isn't necessarily considered zero waste. It's not a reusable cup, it's not a bamboo straw or whatever, but it is something that will last me a lifetime and keep me from throwing away low quality cookware. The next item that I don't regret buying is this, and it's a bamboo toothbrush. So this is actually one that hasn't been opened, and oops, wrong side. It just came in this little paper container that I can compost, and it looks like this. So obviously these bristles are colored to be blue. I don't know, I still love it. Buying a bamboo toothbrush is a great way to reduce your plastic consumption because plastic toothbrushes so often end up in the ocean. But when I'm done with this one, I just have to use whatever it's called to pluck out the bristles, and then I can compost it. I've also seen people use these in their gardens, you know, like writing the name of whatever you're growing and sticking it in your garden. I think that's a great way to reuse it instead of just composting it. And then also, more often than not, before I compost them, I will demote them to cleaning brushes. So obviously I'll clean them and then I'll use them to scrub my kitchen, my bathroom. I'll link my cleaning video above too because you'll see me using one in that video. But yeah, I just think that this is a great like entry step way of getting into zero waste. I was able to get this on clearance at Target, so they are becoming more accessible in price and available at a variety of retailers. Just remember, if you are composting it, you do need to take the bristles out, and that is the same with all brands. They're all synthetic bristles, and that's fine because having just synthetic bristles is so much better than having a completely synthetic or plastic brush, in my opinion. The next item that I don't regret buying is a solid lotion. So this one's actually from Lush. This is their therapy bar. I'm pretty selective with the things that I personally buy for myself at Lush because I don't like to have things that have artificial colors. I was gonna say flavors, but I meant scents or a ton of preservatives. I really like this bar because it doesn't have any preservatives in it, and it's made up of all natural stuff. So there's there's lavender essential oil, and I don't want to make this an ASMR video with the sound of me putting lotion on, but it has lavender essential oil, and I think orange essential oil, and then let me see what else is in it. Fair trade coconut butter, organic shea butter, and then organic essential oils. And I love that it's just so simple. And I just love Lush in general because they offer so many great options for completely package-free products. And they've been doing that for a long time. Like, I feel like before it was cool. So I definitely love them, and I think that might be my favorite product from them. And the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is secondhand clothing. So this is sort of like an overarching theme, just like secondhand anything. But clothing specifically, like this shirt that I got a couple weeks ago at the thrift store, I love purchasing secondhand because it's such an easy way to be zero waste. So I'm sure you guys know the clothing and fashion industry is extremely wasteful. I think that it's the second most polluting industry next to the oil industry. So I'll show you some of my favorite pieces that I've thrifted recently, but just in general, buying things secondhand is a great way to reduce your waste, and it's one of my favorite ways to reduce mine. So I wanted to include that in this video, and I know I mentioned this in my other video, the things I do regret buying. When it comes to shopping at the thrift store, I think it's still really important to be mindful and not just purchase things because they're so inexpensive or, at the thrift store. It can be sort of hard sometimes because you feel like, oh my gosh, this is like a one-of-a-kind thing. I'll never see it again, like I have to buy it. And that may be true, and I have definitely fallen into that trap before, but I try to do my best nowadays to keep a list on my phone of things that I want to purchase at the thrift store or flea market, and if I have a list, it's much easier for me to shop mindfully because I'm not just like going through everything and being like, oh, this is cool, maybe I should just buy it. I always stick to my list generally so that I'm not just bringing home a ton of things, whether or not they're cool or not. I live in such a small space and it's important for me to just keep my collections edited. So I encourage you to do that too. If you're interested, just keep a list on your phone and it makes things a lot easier. Okay, so those are the things that I do not regret buying on this zero waste journey that I'm on. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment below and let me know the things that you have been enjoying, maybe some things that you think I should try. I always appreciate your guys' comments and views. You guys are the best and I appreciate you so much. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. You guys know I'm really into the idea of voluntary simplicity and order, but for a long time that idea didn't translate into my digital life. I actually didn't even really notice that digital clutter was an issue for me until I really started simplifying the rest of my life offline several years ago. For example, back when I first got married, Nick and I were working to really organize our budget and finances together, and I would get so frustrated because he would get these auto withdrawal charges from the web host that he hosted his portfolio site with. And the most frustrating thing was that it was nearly impossible to get answers about these charges from a real person because there was basically no customer support. And he would also have to pay for his domain from a completely different place and then like marketing stuff from a completely different place. But if you get started with Squarespace, you'll never have to deal with the digital confusion that we had to deal with back in the day because everything is available for you on squarespace.com. It's user-friendly, especially if you have no background or experience with coding, and they offer 24/7 customer support. Most importantly, if you currently have your own domain, you can easily transfer it to Squarespace and then you'll be able to manage your online presence from one place instead of working with multiple vendors, therefore reducing your digital clutter. So if you'd like to give Squarespace a try for yourself, you can go to squarespace.com for your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/Alli Cherry for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain.